questions for Will?
Well, let's talk about how you thought y'all progressed from start to finish this spring.
You know, I'm really, pretty pleased with where we are at this point. We still have a long ways to go, but as far as the attitude, the buy-in, and the guys working extremely hard, we got a good core bunch of guys that work extremely hard. And that's huge in order to have a really good football team, but a good unit defensively. Work ethic's got to be a part of it, and there's certainly, even so, guys like Devontae Lambert, who I know is a really good leader. You get him back in the fold with our players, and Carl being able to go full time, even more so. Two guys that I know that can really positively affect the unit. To get those guys back would be really exciting.
Well, Lambert played in.
He can play multiple places. Right now, he would play in for us, but he also needs to be a nickel rusher inside. So we're going to be able to have the flexibility to cross-train, Devontae in some different looks, and he's a guy that has a skill set that can do that.
How important was it to see some playmaking ability out of those front four guys, even without those guys you mentioned, to see some of those guys make plays?
No question. I think we have a chance. I told our defense yesterday in the front seven. We have some great competition. It's going to be a lot of fun in the fall. And as far as guys that are competing for playing time, competing to start, and understanding being a part of that rotation. We have a lot of competition up front, so that makes my job a lot easier, especially in the summer. Our guys need to be fully committed these next 3 months when you start May, June, and July to making great decisions about being a really good football player and a contributor to our football team.
So other than obviously Chris and Casanova, who's in that mix?
Well, Trey Williams, right now there's not a starter at linebacker for us. All three of those guys showed the capability to start at linebacker here at Auburn, and now would throw in there Justin Garrett from the standpoint of a guy that had a tremendous 6 days and had an unfortunate situation with his ankle. Lucky it wasn't as bad as I thought it was to begin with, but really did some nice things. I mean, we got four guys right there that here are on campus I feel very comfortable with. We need to get better after that.
Well, you said the first time we met with you, your goal here at the end of the spring was to identify how many guys you felt like you could count on. You said if it's 11, it's 11, if it's 25. How many do you feel like you actually identified?
Well, in the front seven, I think, 4 guys inside right now. You talk about Montravius Adams, I think had a good spring. Dontavius Russell had a really good spring. Mari Swain and Devereaux Lawrence are all 4 guys that have shown some capabilities that need to be more consistent in some areas, but guys that can contribute and help us win. We get Devontae Lambert back and Carl Lawson back. That was certainly 2 guys that can contribute for us and help us win a lot. I think Elijah Daniel really, the latter part of spring, played extremely well. I mean, there's going to be some great competition there. I think in some spots, President did some nice things at times, and he needs to be more consistent. And really was playing out of position for us as the spring wore on because of some injuries. Needs to be a buck, but again, that develops depth for your team. Then we're going to have some freshmen come in and help us as far as those things, especially with pass rush. I named the 4 linebackers. I feel really pretty comfortable with it this time. We're a little thin in the secondary as far as guys we can count on. I told our team yesterday we've got 2 safeties and 2 corners, and 1 corner's in a walking boot. So that's not a great situation right now, but that is what it is. We have time and ability and talent to be where we need to be. We're just not there yet.
We hadn't really seen a lot of Cameron Toney in the past. What do you think of this spring? What do you can contribute?
Well, again, here's a guy that we, was contemplating possibly moving to offense in some different roles before spring started, and I thought did a nice job. He needs to be an end of the linebacker. When we're in our odd stuff, I think fit him very well. He did a nice job improving his pad level and was able to make some plays for us. So he's certainly a guy that has put himself in a situation to contribute to our team.
How about the strong linebacker / big forward?
We're still a work in progress there. We're not where we need to be. I mean, Tim Irvin's a young player that's did some nice things. It was great to get him in here mid-year and expose him to our scheme and our system and how we practice and all those sort of things. We need a lot of improvement. I think obviously his hand being in a cast for the entire spring and not really having contact till the spring game certainly set him back a little bit. But it has the skill set to be very successful, just not quite where we need to be. Moncrief needs to continue to come on. Josh Holsey's a guy that we could play inside if we needed to, but we lack a little bit of corner when Josh moves inside. So we need some more development at that position, and certainly some young players would have their opportunity in the fall.
From when you got here in December to now, is this defense just a completely different unit as far as effort, understanding, and
Well, I don't
all
want
that?
to comment on before. I wasn't here, so I don't know. I know that
During bowl prep?
I feel like that we've made some strides, from an effort and finishing standpoint, but I think we've practiced the right way, and I think that's a huge part of it. We've had very physical practices, and our players have learned to practice the right way. When you're able to, be in a situation of what we call a thud tempo and staying off the ground, you still can be practiced at a very physical rate and get great physicality out of the practice, and everybody takes care of each other, stays off the ground, and that's something that you've got to learn to do as a team, and I think our players certainly progressed very well at it.
What did Michael Sherwood sort of do to earn that start, and then what is he showing this spring to walk on quarterback?
Well, he works hard. He's a very dependable player as far as his assignments are concerned. He's a physical player. You've got a tough young man that does what he's coached to do. And those guys will help us and they'll play. I don't care if they're a walk-on or a scholarship player, or 8-star or 2-star. It don't really matter to me.
The injury to TJ Davis did allow not only Mike to take a lot in A-Day, but also you have Stephen Roberts and Cameron Melton behind them. How much do you need from those three guys going forward where, one more injury and you're down to a thinner secondary?
Right. Well, it is, man. It was a very devastating blow for us with TJ and him. Obviously personal for him and hurt for him. But that was a tough situation. We're just we got some freshmen coming in that we're excited about, and then we got some guys on campus we're excited about. They need to play more consistent, bottom line, and we feel like they're capable of doing so.
We haven't heard a lot about Joe Turner in that mix since he was a JUCO transfer, but as a JUCO transfer and more experienced guy previously, what have you seen?
Well, he hasn't been with our program, and Coach Malzahn will address that.
We'll talk about the development at safety. Obviously, Trey and Rudy there together. What did you see of those guys start working together as a
Well,
first team?
played fast, and that was what they play fast. They play physical. Rudy's got elite speed on the top end, but did a much better job with his angles to the ball and his eye control and things. And been very pleased with his progress. Right now would be our third corner, to be honest with you. But Trey's a guy that continues to learn to communicate a little better, but he's a physical, tough player. I thought both of those guys played with an energy, played with a little edge, and certainly the way we need to play back there. But the communication needs to continue to improve, but I thought we made strides. There was a lot of positives from it.
Who would be the third safety?
You looking at him? I don't know right now. We need to make some progress.
Do you have enough endurance, you think?
No. Not the way they play ball nowadays. It'd be rough.
Will, what did you see from Kamaya Harrell this spring? Did he make any progress?
Well, again, he was practicing, so that's a change. So it's been a guy that's had, unfortunately, a lot of setbacks with injuries. We'll see what happens in the fall.
Everybody good?
All right.
Okay.